I think I am going to talk to you, so if you can be like close to camera or wherever Andy wants you, this close to camera.
How's this?
That's great for me. This film series means quite a bit to me. It was my first big-ish movie, one of the first anyway, and I was really, really green and was making a lot of mistakes, and I was just excited to be on set day in and day out, and I really didn't know the rules yet, and everything was an exciting time, and the chemistry that was generated by this group of people was electric. And like I've been on a lot of sets since, and it takes a while to kind of like get that engine running and like firing all cylinders. And it seems like every single day on set we were whenever there was kind of a lull because there was a really long hours, so like the conversation would be energy would be batted back up into the air just by trying to make each other laugh. There's like tons of like inside jokes that we were doing on the day that never really made it into film. Some did, but like mostly it was just sort of like to revitalize ourselves. And what ended up happening was we end up forging bonds with each other in a way that like has stood the test of time. And these people are my family. I mean, we still get together, all the time, after 20 years, and they're some of the best people I've come to know. And so it all started with Gamers Dorkness Rising for me, and so it means a lot to me. In the early days of Gamers Dorkness Rising, we had some night shoots. And this was in the fantasy world, and before then I had some good luck, like staying up all night, by taking some trucker pills you get at the gas station. If I had to read a book, like, and I hadn't read that book and it's due the next day, or I have a big paper to write or something like that. So I went ahead and grabbed those because I wanted to share them around to my fellow cast members because, it was going to be a long night. We don't all know when we were going to go back to sleep. And we end up I ended up grabbing some on the way to set, and it was probably about 6 p.m., 7 p.m. or so, and then I just let people know about these trucker pills, and I was letting them know that I've taken them before, it's not a problem, and some people took them, some people didn't. I ended up getting to Matt Vansel, and I was like, hey, do you want to take any trucker pills because it's going to be a long night? And Vansel said, well, maybe, and then I was actually called to set. So I said, can you please hold on to these for me? I'll be right back. So I went and they, adjusted the camera for me and whatnot, and I came back to Vansel, and I said, hey, can I have the rest of those? I want to see if anybody else wants them. And Vansel looks at me with the largest eyeballs I've ever seen and gives a beat and said, I thought you gave me a dose. And I kind of was trying to figure out what was going to happen to his body in the next couple of hours. And I put a big grin on my face and said, you're going to do fine. All right, we'll see you on set. And basically, I forgot about it. About a couple of hours later, I get a tap on my shoulder, and there's this trembling hand that puts itself on my shoulder and whispers in my ear, I hate you so goddamn much. And I will never forget how we shared that moment together.
Still hate you, Brian.
What's really struck me about our fans is that they're so gracious, and they're so giving and loving and loyal. And I've said it several times before, especially when we're on cons and stuff, that we have the best fans. And no joke, that's sincere. When we were needing to shoot Gamers 3, we needed a scene, in the card tournament. We needed a lot of people in the seats to be our extras for the tournament. And I was thinking we're going to get, especially when we actually went to Gen Con and saw the space, that we were going to get, 50, 100, something like that. 600 people showed up for this thing. This is, we hadn't done a movie in several years. We just said, hey, we're at Gen Con. It's shooting for Gamers 3, and we're going to give you a show. And people showed up. Fans were there for us. Because without them, like, we would have been just having to put in, folks here and there and kind of superimpose them, or I don't know what we would have done, but we wouldn't have been nearly as good as what we actually got because our fans showed up for us. I'm excited about a lot of stuff in Dorkness Falls. Just finishing the story is probably one of the biggest ones, is because we've been waiting to tell this story for a long time. We've sort of individually and collectively, like, hey, are we gonna? Is it time yet? Is it time? And it's always no, it's not time. It's not time. There's whatever. But like, and now it's finally time. And before, it wouldn't necessarily have been as good at this stage. And what Matt's idea of what the story is going to be, I think it's actually better than what I was hoping for right at the end of Gamers 3, because now, there's so much time that is spent inside the fantasy world, and we get to add those layers to our characters. Like, for instance, Lodge and Joanna are going to be doing blankety blank blank spoiler deleted, and having to deal with a lot of spoiler. And that's going to be really amazing for their characters. What I'm looking forward to for Cass is that Cass is, when he got here, he's the metagamer. He has, instead of just deciding to live, he wanted to try to find if he can make his own class levels and see if he can get that going. And he's spent years basically fostering those ideas and trying to, I don't know how to end that without like spoiling everything. I really want to say thank you again, because like, even if this doesn't succeed, and I really hope it does, but like, and I know that you hope it does as well, but it has been an amazing ride, and we haven't got an opportunity to actually thank everybody that has been a part of this and has made this a reality. This is for you, and I'm glad we're going to get to be a part of it.